I hate Christmas.
Bah, humduck!
Every single year, I'm forced to join a new last place club on December 25th. I apparently have 5 years to break this cycle, and can do so by either avoiding relegation for 3 consecutive seasons, or avoiding relegation in each of these pools. Until that's done, my life, along with this scar on my face, will remain as is. My league is picked from each of these pools. In 2024, I was given England with Brentford behind safety by 7 points. Then it was Scotland with Hearts in last, albeit having a game in hand. Finally, South Africa was the last choice with a team called Swallows? Is this some joke? Well, they're 13 points behind automatic safety with 2 draws in 16 matches. Picking them would swallow any sort of will I have, so Hearts seems to be the easiest choice. Why am I in South Africa? Ebenezer Scrooge, have you forgotten? Don't bother me with that bullshit. How am I supposed to avoid relegation without a left back, only academy goalkeepers, a right back that can cross, but not dribble, and according to the Ghost of Christmas Future, they also mentioned that this team sold their franchise literally after this season. So even if we aren't relegated, what joy can I bring? At the very least, you can earn more than 2 points. 800 to 1 odds, and not a single win. They had decent players, but not enough to fill a full 11. The previous manager didn't even use the keepers on the roster. Rather than signing a proper one or using a reserve player, a guy who isn't contracted was used. No wonder they haven't won a game yet. Talking to the press on Christmas, I guess thanks for taking the time out of your day, I learned our first match is tomorrow? And it's against one of the most iconic clubs in the country, Kaiser Chiefs. With no clear identity, I decided to set up a formation like this.
Brother,
I'm appalled as well, but my options are limited. Making this lineup presented additional problems. No striker could jump, and a few of the center backs couldn't either. It didn't take a genius to realize that we'd struggle, and despite keeping it scoreless by halftime, Kaiser Chiefs were dominating. After the half, it didn't take them long to score, as our defenders lost their markers quite easily for the opener. That led to changes, including the sub of Baka, which in some languages have interesting meanings. His injury seconds later led to the Japanese variant. We barely gave the Chiefs a dent, with Koa Peng's late effort being our sole highlight. Speaking of the man, the media wrote a harsh article about him before our match with Supersport United. The second place team had success in the late 2000s, and were clear favorites for the fixture. They scored first, which shouldn't be surprising, but just pause for a second. Where's my defensive left winger? 2 center backs were furthest away, and for some reason, ran into the middle. However, Falane, who's supposed to be on the left, wasn't this guy, or that guy, or him. This was where he was. Why are you there? Don't fret, we weren't gonna get swallowed up. With a penalty, we could score our first goal with me in charge. I can't even pronounce your name and you can't even score a pen? Soon after the interval, Koa Peng was sent through to prove his doubters wrong. Yes, Koa Peng is through. Koa Peng. Why did you take the touch wide? He had another chance seconds later and shot straight at the keeper. The media may have been right. Supersport would receive a controversial penalty, extending their lead. We could only manage a consolation goal late. Pass it. What was that? As Koa Peng's equalizer was offside. With a whole month off, we were given a ton of time to improve our team with signings. A free loan at left back, a competent goalkeeper, center back, playmaker, defensive midfielder, winger, and a striker that can jump. Basically, a new starting 11. And that was aided by our chairperson increasing our transfer budget, resulting in more wages spent. The biggest signing though would be Oscar Cardoso. The former Benfica icon who was a scoring machine recently played in Paraguay with Roque Santa Cruz. He departed and decided it was a great idea to play with Swallows, seeing him become the club's oldest player ever. With a new team and a slightly normal formation, would this turn our fortunes around? Players were adjusting to new faces, so it made sense that we conceded chances. But we created ones ourselves. Unfortunately, a disorganized defense will eventually make a crucial error, as Cape Town's Slatshaw found the opener. Chasing the match, we'd concede a second to lose. Not ideal, looking worse than prior to the transfers. Our next opponents were Royal AM, and reading through their Wikipedia page, it's incredible that you can buy your way to the top division. They also unlawfully terminated a player's contract, which got them a transfer ban. I kinda hoped they were based on a radio station. Regardless, they scored the first shot of the game. No need to worry, Oscar Cardoso set his mark in South Africa, only for Matt Damons to defend so well by allowing Maxwell more than enough space to score. The second-rate defending continued after the half. As terrible defending continued, seeing 2 conceded. What a way to waste Oscar Cardoso's brace. With a reminder that the Swallows have hit a new low, we actually won a game in the South African Cup. A 3-2 victory over a semi-professional club didn't spark much fire. Returning to the Ligue against Cape Town Spurs, ensuing Cardoso's header that hit the bar, our opponents scored theirs. Later on, Cardoso would hit the woodwork again, and Makola got stopped from here. This encounter should have been a draw, but another loss. 9 games are left, and we made no progress in the bid for safety. It wouldn't get easier playing twice in 3 days, plus a cup fixture on Monday. Sian Dazul signed on a free, and free transfers can be registered at any time, so he slotted into the lineup versus Akekane United. In 11th place side, I thought we had a chance, until meeting Andy Boyeli, who scored a hat-trick in 1 half.
Who is this Boyeli guy? How is he scoring a hat-trick in 1 half? Or a team that's 11th place in the league?
The only positive was scoring our first penalty of the year, as the previous 2 were stopped. 6 matches as manager, and 6 losses. Less than 48 hours later, we had to face Orlando Pirates. No, it's not some Floridian sports team, but one of the strongest sides in South Africa. Along with their fierce rivals Kaizer Chiefs, they have the second most league titles in the current rendition of the South African Premiership. They showed their might with a 3rd-minute opener. I wasn't expecting much, although hitting the post a couple minutes after gave me hope. We were getting outmatched statistically, however, in the second half, a miraculous moment occurred. Koapang actually scored a goal. Forget the news articles and all the backlash. Everything seems all good. Until we conceded 44 seconds later. We were so back to where we were. Still down by 1 with 10 minutes remaining, we had to go for it, opting for 3 strikers, subbing Sithole on the right. Why are you laughing? Oh, because of this cross, I presume? Well, don't worry. The man got another chance and found Oscar Cardoso for the equalizer. Against all teams, it was Orlando Pirates where we earned our first points. TS Galaxy had to fear being just 10 points ahead. We lost in the cup to Cape Town City on the following Monday, but had a week break before facing Amazulu. Researching their club, they certainly have history, yet what stood out to me was that they played a side called Rich Boys. Regardless, how would we look after gaining our first point as manager? The squad significantly, and we were still getting battered. I do have to give the guys credit for fighting in the second half though. We made a 5-4 with 15 minutes remaining. Sadly, we couldn't find a 5th, returning to our losing ways. With 6 games left, we remained 10 points behind TS Galaxy. Things needed to change swiftly, and with them as our next opponents, it was a must win. Their manager was familiar to me, Sam Dice. Joining TS Galaxy on the same day as my appointment of Swallows, me and him have a lot of history. It's a past I'd rather not recall, but why was he here in South Africa rather than eating his mince pies in the UK? Honestly, I don't care. He is a football manager that likes tough challenges, using a more defensive approach. This would be the first time I'd seen him for several years, and before the fixture, I ran into him. He didn't realize I was managing in South Africa because nobody writes about the Swallows. Worst of all, he said we should settle for a draw, since neither of us will be changing positions anytime soon. This guy thinking we draw a game that needs to be won? 5 times 3 is 15. If we won all our remaining games, we can still avoid relegation. Polokwane City was up, and they were considered the worst team in the league by some analysts. So, a win will jumpstart our push for survival. However, conceding in the 67th minute brought back the 3-striker attack. We were piling up shots, but nothing was going in. Pushing for an equalizer, we got countered, and in ways that sum up our season perfectly, our opponents shot it at the keeper.
Free chance. And what is Pule doing? Punching it into his own net?
This loss meant that survival was out of our hands. To be fair, it was always out of our hands, and a TS Galaxy victory the next day would send us down.
Guangdong Tigers.
Sacked immediately, terminated, kicked out, whatever you want to call it. Our first attempt in the bottom at Christmas challenge was doomed from the start. In 10 games as manager, we matched the previous boss's tally of 2 points. Advancing to the end of the season, Swallows proved to be impossible to save, as while they earned 2 more draws, they remained winless, finishing in last with 6 points. The only bright spot was Oscar Cardoso, who probably regrets coming to South Africa. Still, 6 goals in 12 matches wasn't bad for a 41-year-old. How about Sam Chroo? His side went on a good run of form to end the season, but it wasn't enough to avoid the promotion relegation playoff. This was a mini tournament between 3 teams where they each played one another twice. However, whoever ended with the most points would be in the top division. Sam managed 2 wins, but suffered 2 losses. Maritzburg United managed a draw away at Marumo Gallants, matching TS Galaxy with 2 wins, sending Chroo into the job market. Hey everyone, this was supposed to be an entire series, or at least one big video, but unfortunately, I wasn't able to get it done before Christmas. I was sick from the middle of November until maybe the second week of December, with barely any days being healthy. I wasn't able to stream that much or record any scripts without coughing up a lung. Plus, I had several other videos I wanted to get done on the back burner. Now, I have been uploading the stream VODs of these on the Chroo VODs YouTube channel, so if you want to know what happens, check it out over there. There is still one more live stream that will happen on Monday the 23rd, probably around 7 p.m. UK, we'll see. That'll be on my Twitch, so if you want to hang out before Christmas, come on by. After that though, I'll be finishing the Brazilian Players series that was previously cancelled, number 9. So in January, if you see some 2-hour-long video with a couple dudes on it, please give it a chance if you have time. It's been a passion project of mine, and I'd love if as many people got to see it. Anyways, I wish you guys a happy holidays, and hope to see you guys soon. Take care.